everyone, and welcome back to the Bitch in My Brain podcast. My name is Josie. I cannot believe that we are on the 11th episode. It is crazy to me because I feel like just yesterday I launched the first episode, and here we are 10 episodes later, and I can't believe it. I am very happy. I'm very, excited that all of this is working out, and, I've got some momentum behind me. But it's surprising to watch it all come together, and I so appreciate you guys listening and being a part of this because it really means a lot to me. So throwing it back to you guys, thank you. I've started to really get in the flow now that there's been 11 episodes, or this one will be the 11th. However, since I really started this podcasting journey, journey, guys. I'm trying. I need to buy, a thesaurus or something so I can pick a different word that I don't have to beat you over the head with. But since I started doing this, I've realized that I've given myself a lot of flexibility, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. However, as I've done some reflecting on the past weeks and recording and editing and all of that, I've really realized how I don't have as much structure as I used to. And as much as I consider myself a free bird who doesn't like, being put in a box or anything like that, I'm actually a kind of person that needs structure. I think I was lying to myself, but I truly believe that I'm meant for structure, and it kind of kills me. But it's also great to know that that is the way that I can become successful. So when I first started life coaching, one of the biggest things that we focused on was implementing a morning and evening routine. And I was all jazzed up about this when I first started because I had never really implemented anything like that. And so I kind of immediately jumped to yoga in the mornings. I was a 6 a.m. girly. I've been a little flexible. They added a 7:30, and that's it sounds a lot better to do the 7:30 when I have to wake up at 5:30 to go to the 6 a.m. So they really did me dirty by offering that later class, but I am thankful for it. We'll say that. And then, walking my dog, my morning routine was pretty simple. And then my evening routine was like going to bed a little bit earlier, reading some of my self-help books, doing a little bit of journaling to just kind of blah out all of the craziness for the day. And I absolutely loved it. However, I also realized how kind of rigid I had made my morning routine. I reflect back, and it was a little bit too structured for my liking at the time, but I really had no choice but to have it be super rigid because I was always what felt like in a time crunch. And so when I was working with my clients, I would wake up in the morning and I'm like, okay, I have to go to the 6 a.m. because I need to get back by 7:15 so I can take Miso on a walk, and so I can get back at 8 so that I can shower, and then I can get all of my drinks drank in the morning. I got some athletic greens, ginger shots, probiotics, all the things. And then I can get to my computer at 9. And that was how it flowed every single day. And I look back at that now, and I think that routine might have caused a little bit more stress than it should have. Because it was really, I was moving from a place of chaos because I had to check this off the list, check that off the list as far as going to yoga, walking the dog. And there wasn't as much of a connection or relief that came from my routines. It was go, 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 go. And I hated it. I think I hated it because the bitch in my brain was very present during those routines because it was on to the next one, on to the next one. And then if I missed one of the parts of my routine, so I slept through yoga or whatever, I'd feel a lot of shame and I wouldn't feel complete without doing those things. So in a way, this routine that's supposed to kind of get me started for the day and get me motivated and all of that was actually causing me a lot more pressure. And so earlier this year, or I guess 2024, I guess it'd be later, 2024, August, we'll go with August, I left my final client and decided to take a little bit of a break for marketing to obviously start this podcast. And at the beginning, I wanted zero structure. I wanted to be able to sleep in until the time I naturally woke up. I wanted to go to yoga at whatever time. I had zero responsibilities and zero routine. And at first, I do believe that was necessary because I was on the struggle bus a few months prior to that or during that duration between when I had my mental breakdown and when I finally decided to leave. But it was good for me to take that time to actually rest and recover and get out of that chaotic routine sort of box that I had put myself in. And so that was great. I really enjoyed it. However, it has reached a point where I've really come to terms that my routine is essential to make me feel good. Even on the days that I know I need a little bit more rest, I still know that some aspects of my routine are necessary for me to honestly have a good day. And where I'm really struggling, and always have, to be honest, is my nightly routine. I give myself so much grace. I'm an enabler, we'll say it that way, because I always have the goal of going to bed at 9 o'clock, or at least going upstairs and I can read my self-help book and all the things that sound so good. And then the current version of me, or the version of me at night, justifies why I should veg out on the couch with a bunch of snacks, fall asleep on the couch, and then wake up when Sam goes to bed and I have to wash my face, brush my teeth. So I've been sleeping for 2 hours on the couch. And now I have to wake myself back up, do my whole, physical nightly routine, and then go back into bed. And I do think that there's other aspects to me wanting to fall asleep on the couch that go back to childhood, because I loved sleeping on the couch as a kid. And I reached a point where that actually became like my bed. My parents weren't happy about it and they did not enable it. They would catch me creeping down the stairs and come out of their room and be like, Josie, get your ass back to bed. And honestly, that was because I was a scared little kid. I had a crazy imagination, and I do want to blame my parents for this as well, because they put shelves above my bed, or rather looking at my bed on the opposite wall, and put the porcelain dolls that my grandma would collect and give me. And those things I would stare at in the eye, waiting for them to move. And then when Chucky came out, it was game over. I'm like, fuck this room. The couch is where I live. And so I feel like now my desire to fall asleep on the couch is because I feel a little bit closer to Sam, like he's gonna protect me if an evil doll or whoever I'm imagining is gonna attack me. So I know that comes a little bit from a place of like my childhood safety sort of conditioning. But now there's really no excuse. And I've got Miso, who is just as much as a protector than Sam is, If anything, I think Miso's probably a little bit more intimidating than Sam because Sam's just a softie. I love it. But I know that it's possible for me to go to bed on time and stick to a routine. And when I don't stick to my evening routines, it fucks up my morning routine. And then it's just like this whole cycle of not being able to follow through with something that is really beneficial for me. And it's said that 92% of people, or rather, let me make sure I don't mess up any statistic I'm giving you guys, but people have been found to be 92% more productive when they have a routine implemented into their daily life. And I am one of those people because, like I said, the days that I don't follow through, I'm just an unproductive mess. I find myself scrolling TikTok, just getting into the depths of, I recently found the hoarding side of TikTok, and that has been where a lot of my attention has gone because I don't know, I find it fascinating. My inner empath wants them to clean it out and, just change their life, all of that. But, I'll spend like 2 hours back to back doing the doom scroll. And at the end of the day, when it really is time to wind down, I feel like all I've done is just kind of scroll my phone or, answer a few emails here, answer a few DMs. And I'm unsatisfied because I know that I was in control of having a better day. And it really starts in the morning. And a lot of people think of routines to be kind of restricting and that they put us in, a time frame that might cause more stress. And if you aren't able to do the routine in the exact way you want or in the exact time frame, it feels, very overwhelming. But I really invite you to see routines as actually expansive and that they give you the opportunity to really open up to the things that you like or the ways that you like to feel. And that's really our ultimate goal, is to feel good, is to create a day-to-day or an overall life that is in alignment with what we say we want, how we want to live, and how we want to feel. What routines can offer us is freedom from stress and anxiety, because when we have a routine, we know what's coming. We know what to expect. And when you're not in a worrying state of mind, you're able to feel more in control of your life. And when we have better control of our lives, then our brain is able to move from a place of calm and stability. We're grounded because there's no unpredictability. We can trust that it's going to provide that anchor that we can, refer to in times where we are a little bit squirrely. And I'm guilty of that. And I've been feeling that way. And it's true that my routines that I've implemented keep me with, my feet in the ground and not having my head in the clouds as well. And ultimately, one of my favorite parts about a routine is it really allows you to be the best version of yourself. Because I can't tell you anyone who has stuck with the routine in their morning that makes them feel good. After they do it, they don't feel good. Like, no one does that. It's like when you're dreading a workout and then you kind of force yourself to go. And then afterwards, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy I did that because I feel great and I'm more motivated to maybe eat cleaner or spend a little bit more time outside. There's all these great feelings that come alongside. And a lot of times where I enjoy following through with my routine is I'm building more self-trust. I'm able to trust myself to make the right decisions in the present moment in service of my future self. So it really is, honestly, and maybe the way I'm talking about it you can tell, but it really is an instrumental tool in being the person that you want to be and living your truth and all of those things. And so I invite you this week to get clear on what makes you feel good in your day-to-day life, or what is something that you know would make you feel better. So for me, I know yoga is a non-negotiable. I know that it is my way of connecting to myself first thing in the morning. And we used to use this saying called mind, body, business. So in the morning, we start with our mind. We have to get our mind straight. And then we can move our body, whether that's yoga, whether that's a walk, whether that's swimming, whatever, just moving your body. And then business. So we take care of our mind, we take care of our body, and then we're able to get to business, whatever that looks like. And so when you're thinking about these routines that you can implement, come from a place of self-connection, because that's truly what's important. You need to get right in your brain and your body before you can, step out into the world and know that you can take on anything that comes, because you're grounded, because you're settled. And so the reason that I love going to the early yoga is because I can check two birds with, I don't want to say kill, but I don't know where check came. I can multitask. There we go. I can multitask by moving my body, the physical aspect that comes with yoga, but also that deep connection with my mind, because when we're moving through the poses or focusing on your breath, you're really bringing it and yourself back into kind of your conscious brain, as well as when we wrap up the classes, sitting in Shavasana and everything. That's when I can get my meditation in. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal, because I'm connecting with my body and I'm connecting with my mind. And afterwards I leave yoga, I'm socializing with everyone, and I'm like, damn, I feel good. The only thing that makes it better is when I go get like a protein shake smoothie after. But in this economy, no way. Nope. So that was dropped out of the morning routine. Not in this economy. But it's also important to do those same things at night. So you want to take care of your mind in the sense of like journaling or reading self-help and kind of clearing out all of the clutter that you've accumulated throughout the day, and really just kind of wiping things clean, maybe organizing, making mental sticky notes, however you need to just kind of decompress. And then it's also about your body. What is something you can do to get yourself in that calm state of mind or take care of yourself? Like for me, I'll do a few cat-cows before bed, or, sometimes I'll just lay there and just let my body just sink in, or a bath, that's another good one. And so when you prioritize your mind and body at night, you're probably going to sleep better. You're going to feel way more refreshed and in control. And then your morning routine kicks off from a great place. And as you continue on this cycle of helping yourself with your routines, it's going to get easier and easier, and it's going to be, second nature and automatic, and your body's going to start to kind of feed off of that routine. And you'll stay more in, and I've said this before, in alignment with what you actually want, and live intentionally. Isn't that what we all want? We want to be in the present moment. we want to live with intention and passion for what lights us up and what makes us happy. And it's crazy to think that a simple routine can move you in that direction. It's just exciting to know that, because it feels doable. It doesn't feel like this overwhelming transformation that you have to keep doing that's, high intensity or rigid to get to where you want. So it really does open up that freedom, which we all want. We all want freedom, baby. Freedom, freedom, freedom. I want freedom with structure, through structure, but freedom nonetheless. And so, this week I invite you to think about what would make you happy to do in the morning, what would nourish you, as well as what to do at night. And don't have them be like brushing your teeth for 2 minutes or, washing your face. Those are things you're going to do automatically. And so really choose intentional things. Even something in the morning as simple as making your bed, that can shift your mindset. You've already knocked something off the list. You're feeling productive. And then when you go to bed at night, you get to crawl into this, freshly made bed that you can just snuggle into. So really be intentional. And if you're willing, tell me what your routines are. You can slide into my DMs or shoot me a text for those who know me, and just tell me what, makes you feel good, and come up with a game plan for this week. Maybe you have some time to kind of marinate and figure out what you want, and then implement it, Thursday, Friday. I don't stick with my routines on Saturdays and Sundays because, we all need a break sometimes. Oh my gosh, the face I just made into the camera shows my emotion. But tell me how it is and what you like, and how I might steal a few of your guys' ideas. So I hope you have a wonderful week filled with a fulfilling routine, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this episode spoke to you, and I can't wait to continue to share so much more. If you're feeling called, please subscribe and leave a review so together we can reach even more women who deserve to live their best life. And you can follow me on social at The Bitch in My Brain as I share my journey and life in real time. I can't wait to see you bitches next week. Take care.